It's going to be a separate.
Right, okay. Hi, this is Tom Plasinski from BMW North America, and we're sitting inside an E92 M3 GT race car. This was the pinnacle of GT racing in America and actually around the world. This one of these sister cars to this race at Le Mans. We won the IMSA ALMS championship here in the United States in 2011 with this car, and I thought I'd give you a little roundup of what the driver's seat looks like. Surprisingly, I am sitting in the back seat floor of the car. The seat is so far back because the weight distribution is incredibly important. BMWs start with a 50-50 weight distribution, but for racing, it's actually advantageous to be a little bit more towards the rear. So the engine in the car is placed further rearward and actually down lower. The transmission, which is normally behind the engine on this car, is at the back of the car. It's a transaxle setup, and the driver sits actually in the rear footwell. The seat doesn't move, it is fixed, and the advantage of that is that it doesn't flex at all, so you really have a feel for how the car's handling. If the car's starting to slide, you can really feel it very early and react to it, because you really don't have a lot of reaction time before you spin if you're so you can't get behind the car. And then in order to fit different drivers, because this was an endurance race car, rather than moving the seat for different drivers, you move the pedal box. So there is a movable pedal box. There's a lever on the side, and during a pit stop you can adjust the pedal to fit your needs. Controls wise, there's a center stack, just a few controls, things that the main kill switch, a few things. It has air conditioning as well, because we have closed windows. Air conditioning is required by the series, and it actually makes the car reasonably comfy. But not too many controls there. Most of the controls are on the steering wheel. A ton of different controls here. You have a radio button so you can talk back to the pits, a high beam so you can flash people because you're coming up faster. You have turn signals, in fact, a left and a right turn signal. Something called ASC, which you might be familiar from your street car, except it works a little differently on a race car. ASC on a race car is simply a traction control, so it won't stop you from spinning, but it'll stop wheel spin. Oh. So, and you have an adjustment. You can adjust it from 6 down to 0. No traction control. 6 would be what you would use in the rain, probably. You have a wiper off, wiper on. If there is an alarm in the dash, the car monitors itself. If there's anything that it doesn't like, it will turn the dash to red and tell you. You can cancel that alarm there. And then there's a screen heater, so that if it's fogging up in the rain, you can defrost the screen. And that's it for controls in the car. Shifting is done via paddles behind the wheel, but they're push-pull paddles. In case your hand has to be doing something else, you can still shift up or down with one hand. And it's not a DCT transmission like the street car was. This is a straight cut gear transmission. Again, a transaxle at the rear. The shifting is a little bit more abrupt than the street car, and a little bit slower, believe it or not, but very effective. And that's the driver's seat of the M3 GT from 2011. This weekend we'll be running this car as well as the sister car. They're all 10 years old now, and so we brought them out here because these were always fan favorites. I will be driving this car. Bill Oberlin will be in the sister car. I'm sure he'll beat me because he is the winningest driver in IMSA history, so there's no doubt about that. I really like this car. It's a pleasure to drive. It has great balance. The engine sounds fantastic. Now, I should mention, for those that know the E92 M3, they have a V8 engine. This is also a V8, but it's a very different V8 than the street car. The street car has a normal setup crankshaft, whereas this is a flat plane crankshaft, so it actually runs like two 4-cylinder Siamese together, and it puts a lot of vibration in the car. But the advantage is that it's very free revving. When this raced competitively, it had a 9,000 RPM red line and about 500 horsepower. We've detuned it a little bit to make the engines last longer. So we have about an 8,500 RPM red line at the moment. And it really is a pleasure to drive. It's fast, it's comfy, it has air conditioning. The seat is fantastic, and I really love the movable pedals. I like to have the pedals close. My co-driver likes the pedals far, so we can get in, and when we do our driver change, we can quickly change that. And it's wonderful. It really is.
It doesn't seem that good anymore, actually. It doesn't feel that good.
You know what? Something hit here, so maybe
grab it.
Yeah, maybe.
So how was it?
Holy cow. Can't keep you up. Hold on.
How was the race?
We did, Connor and I. So yeah, unfortunately the other car had a mechanical and didn't finish, so bittersweet that way. It would have been fun to fight them, you know, man to man, but that's racing. You got to finish first finish, then finish first. So
you lived up to the race title as a legend, right?
yeah, in my own mind, yes. No, it was a lot of fun. Travis did really well. I was really struggling that one. The car was very, very loose. I thought I was doing a drift challenge out there, but we made it to the end. We won. John came second, so that's awesome.
Good race.
Yeah.
Really good race.